I was born in Salt Lake City, Utah, a tiny little city called Pleasant Grove. I always wanted to do something exciting. As a little girl, I wanted to be Annie Oakley. I was sure I could be Annie Oakley. I had a hat, I had an old horse named Roxy and a border collie named Tippy, and the only thing I couldn't do was shoot. But I was ready. I asked my father one day, I said, "Could you teach me how to shoot that old .22 of yours? Would you put a can on the post and like you've done for my brother?" I don't want to shoot anything. Just from an athletic standpoint, I wanted to see if I could do that. It really looked like it would take some skill, and I thought that would be great. So I said, "Sure, come on, Catherine." He handed me the gun, and I was about 8, I think. And as a typical squealy little girl, I said, "Oh, I don't think I can. I'm scared. I'm really scared to do this." And he was a wonderful, kind man. And he looked at me and he said, "Catherine, just do it scared." Which is also the title of my book. He put that can on the post. This can changed my life. There it is. Maybe not the original. And one day, a young woman friend of mine came home and she said, "You won't believe this. They're hiring female bodyguards for the president." I said, "Really? Do you get to fly on Air Force One? Do you get to go to the White House? Do you get to meet the leaders of our country?" And she said, "Oh, yeah," but she said, "I'd be scared to do that. You have to carry a gun. You have to be willing to die for the president or whomever they assign you to." She said, "I'd be scared to do that." I said, I wouldn't be scared, and I can shoot a gun. But the first thing you have to do is be willing to try it, to not be scared. To say to yourself, "I'm scared, but that's my first step of courage, and I'm going to move on that." Dateline, Washington. Women, W-O-M-E-N, that was the header. Didn't say anything else, it just said women. 5 young women took the oath of office today as special agents of the U.S. Secret Service and became the first of their sex to join the 106-year-old agency. Customarily, they would be referred to as pretty, or at least attractive, since it is true of most young women successful in their careers. Can you imagine anyone saying that now? They entered the room with their faces turned. They were sworn in with their backs to the cameras and television cameras. There was a brunette, 1 golden blonde, a 5th had short frosted dark hair, and they all had lithe, well-shaped figures. Now, I honestly can remember grabbing the newspaper to see what they said and actually quite pleased. You know, the only policewoman I had ever heard of, or agent in those days, was Angie Dickinson. You remember when Angie Dickinson walked down the stairs and she had shoes that had a heel and she was beautifully dressed, and it became, I think the name of her program was Policewoman. That's the only one I'd ever heard of other than crossing guards when I was in elementary school.